For the additional exercises, we'll follow the same recommendation as before, is pause the video, try the problem, work it out, and then start the video to see if you got it correct or not. So problem 1 asks, is this a function? So go ahead and pause the video. Determine whether it's a function or not. Alright, so now if I look at A, I've got A going to two different values. I have an X value going to two different Y values. In fact, I have another X value going to three different Y values. That can't be, so this is not a function. Let's try number 2. So, well, we use our vertical line test. So think about your vertical line test. Does this satisfy the vertical line test or not? Pause the video, write down your answer, and then start the video up again. Since I can take any vertical line here, it's going to pass through at most one point, then this is a function. Let's turn the page. All right, try number 3. Looks like that got chopped off. 3 should be up there. Pause the video. Ask yourself, is that a function or not? So coming back, if I take a vertical line right here, I'm going to pass through multiple points on the graph. So this is not a function. All right, pause the video and try number 4. All right, let's resume. And again, I'm looking for, does each X value only go to one Y value? That goes there, that goes there, that goes there. That's okay. I don't have an X value going to more than Y value. Now, it's true that I have Y values that are coming from two different X's. We're not worried about that. We're worried about, do I have a specific X value that's giving me two answers for Y? And we don't have that here. So this is a function. All right, go ahead and pause the video on this one. Go ahead and try it out. Plug it in and do your order of operations. And then when you're done, resume the video. All right, let's go ahead and try it out. So I'm looking at f of -6. So wherever I see an x, I'm going to replace it by, well, did that wrong. Go ahead and replace it by -6. Follow your order of operations. -6 squared is 36. And that'll be a positive 36. Multiply and divide from left to right. So we do 2 times 36 is 72. 4 times -6 is a -24. And 72 minus 24 is 48. Let's try number 6. So again, pause the video. A little hint when you try this out, you're going to be squaring this x minus 2. Remember to FOIL that out. So go ahead and pause the video. Give the problem a try. All right, so let's go ahead and work it out. Here we're going to replace x by x minus 2. And I'm going to go off to the side here. And I'm going to label this SP for scratch paper. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that as x minus 2 times x minus 2. I want to go and FOIL that out. So product the first, x times x is x squared. Outer terms, x times a negative 2 is a negative 2x. Get a different color here. Inner terms, negative 2 times x is a negative 2x. And then last would be a negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. We combine those middle terms, that will give us a negative 4x. So we'll get x squared minus 4x plus 4. So we're going to rewrite that as 5 times x squared minus 4x plus 4. I'm just going to go ahead and bring everything else down. So we get to practice our handwriting on this one. We'll go ahead and distribute the 5 to each term here inside the parentheses. So it goes 5x squared minus 20x plus 20. Going to distribute the 2 here to both terms. So that'd be 2x minus 4. And then we want to go ahead and combine like terms. 5x squared by itself. Negative 20x plus 2x, that's 18x. And then we have this 20 minus 4 is 16. Minus 10 is 6. That'd be plus 6. All right, let's determine the domain and range here. Now, I'm going to make an assumption here because it's not clearly drawn here, but let's just make this perfectly here. I'm going to put some arrows on here. Indicate that it goes on forever. Sometimes these arrows get dropped off when you're making one software and pasting into another one. So this extends on forever this way. This extends forever this way. So from left to right, our domain is negative infinity to positive infinity. For a range, this is going from bottom to top. This is starting at 1 and goes on forever. And we're going to include that 1. So that'd be 1 to infinity. Let's try this one. Again, we're going to make an assumption that there is an arrow here. So that goes on forever. So doing our domain from left to right, this is going to start at negative 3, and then it's going to go on forever. Let's try that again. Now ask yourself, am I going to put a parentheses or a square bracket around that negative 3? If I look here, that's a fill-in dot, so I'm including a negative 3, so I'm going to need a square bracket. And this goes to positive infinity. For the range, it tops off here at negative 2, so this goes on forever. So going from bottom to top, from negative infinity to negative 2, including the negative 2. Always write it from smallest to largest, left to right, bottom to top. And number 9, again, we're going to assume that these things go on forever, that the arrows just got dropped off. So my domain here is going to be all real numbers. guess I should have circled these up here as my answer. Now let's think about the range. So again, from bottom to top, we start at the bottom, keep going to the top. And so it's from negative infinity, and it tops out here at 4. And it will include 4. All right, let's turn the page. Oh, this looks like a fun one. All right, so when I use the graph of f of x to answer the questions, and I'll probably add some questions here too myself. You're going to find I like to add stuff to what we're talking about. So determine f of negative 4. So I'm looking when x equals negative 4. That looks like that's about here. The y coordinate's 4, so that's going to be equal to 4. I think. It's kind of hard to read on this graph. Yeah. Okay. I want to find all x values for which f of x equals negative 3. Oh, that's down here. This is like when y equals negative 3. What are my x values? Well, we start at negative 1, not including negative 1. We end at 2, not including 2. So that's going to be the interval from negative 1 to 2. That's kind of a weird one. All right. Now I'm going to add a problem here. What's the x-intercept? If you didn't pause before, maybe want to pause it again and try that. Find the x-intercept, and let's find the y-intercept. So pause it, work it out. All right, x-intercept here is going to be this negative 2. So it's this point right here. This would be negative 2 comma 0. Now, notice that this is a point. This is an interval. These are very different things. They look exactly the same. The only way you can tell the difference is that by the context. Here I'm solving, so this is giving me the interval, all the numbers between negative 1 and positive 2. This here is an x-intercept. So that's just the point negative 2 comma 0. And then the y-intercept, well, that's down here. That's going to be 0, negative 3.